because the Chicago police, they have not had a contract since 2017. Can you imagine? They've been able to do them for the last 5 years. And what has happened? Those of us that have been kissed by the sun, the police have put targets on our back. The police, they no longer serve and protect black and brown people. They pursue and execute us. So here's what we're looking for. The FOP want to make this contract about money and about overtime and rate increases. What we demand as a community, we demand accountability. Number one is that we want to be able to anonymously complain about the police. If you got a complaint about the police today, not only do they get to know who you are, you don't get to know who they are. And then you have to sign a sworn affidavit. And then on top of that, the police have 48 hours to change their mind.
I'm pretty sure it's
Can you imagine being caught in a lie and then having 2 days to cover up your own lie? So we do not trust the blue-eyed fox to guard the colored hen house. We are asking with this contract, we are asking for 40 things. And the 40 things that we are asking for is all about accountability. Don't destroy the records after 5 years. Who does that? Oh, we can't go back 5 years to figure out how you get down. How many black and brown people are in the penitentiary based on their history? That's the way judges determine if they're going to set bail, how lenient you're going to be. So why not these rules don't apply to the police? We must be ever vigilant, brothers and sisters, because there must be a contract. My job as a police accountability advocate is making sure those racist killer cops are playing basketball in Pelican Bay. Y'all heard that? Pelican Bay.
Say Pelican Bay.
Pelican Bay.
Pelican Bay.
Pelican Bay.
Hey, Mark, you want to say something? When Mark come up, you're going to have a few minutes, and then we're going to start the teaching.
Make some noise!
Woo!
Make some noise!
Woo!
You looking at a person at the age of 16 years old taken to a police station and tortured. Back in 1981, I was taken to Area 3 violent crimes and torture. The FOP, they have been thugs. They have terrorized us. They have stole from us. We have had mayors. We have had aldermen. We have had politicians that have favored these individuals to terrorize our people. I say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
You know why it's not right? It's not right because we have a lack of mental health facilities in our communities. It's not right that when men and women go to prison that they cannot return back into this society and find a job. If little Timmy robbed you because he was a robber when he went to prison, now when he returns, he's still a robber. What did the prison system do? It committed acts of genocide. It terrorized us. Now we have a mayor that she wants us all to believe that she looks like us, but she does not act like us. She sat in this building and she literally covered up hundreds of police torture complaints under the Office of Professional Standards. Where is justice? We still have over 100 men and women still languishing behind our prison walls. It ain't right. It ain't right anytime a police department is able to suck up all of the budget and the people suffer. Me being 16 years old, Chicago, losing 28 years of my life to a crooked criminal justice system, sentenced to 4 natural lives and called a monster. All because members of the Chicago Police Department wanted to play games with my genitals and testicles. It is not right. It is not right that your fathers, that your uncles, that your aunts, and that your children have to suffer behind prison walls, and when they come out, they can't live with you. Let me tell you, the FOP has terrorized us. The FOP has lied on us. The FOP has a hit list against us. And when we tell you, we must rise and we must shine and we must fight together against this crooked criminal justice system. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the opportunity and coming out. The Chicago Torture Justice Center in Chicago is historical. We fought for that. So that when, guess what, you are terrorized by members of the police department, you can come and you can get yourself some type of treatment. So thank you, I love you, and God bless you.
Say,
I'm gonna go right to the right because I like the Jack. I gave you a second to Jack. Some people say to the right, but I like the Jack. So if you hear me say Kim, Bill.
Yeah, Will.
Say Kim, Bill.
Yeah, Will.
Say go to work.
Go to work.
let's go to work.
Let's go this way, girl. We can hear him.
Now,
Go this way so we can hear him.
into like into the atmosphere, right? What I live for is this. These things and watch things manifest. What I can live for even more is a black man and being in the struggle for years, right? Is looking at their faces when I start speaking because they know how I'm finna teach y'all. I live for that. It's like a hunger inside of me that just really just live for that. I live for that. I love it. I love seeing their face when they coming to learn about policy. I love when they see people from South Shore neighborhood to come learn about policy. Or anywhere in the city of Chicago to come learn about policy. I say, I love that. Say, I love that. Say, I love that.
Love that.
Say, go to work.
Go to work.
All right, let's go to work. Say, reimagine.
Imagine. FOP. Reimagine.
FOP.
FOP.
Reimagine. Reimagine. FOP. FOP. So let's reimagine, right? Reimagine, like, what a just FOP contract really looks like. Because right now, a just FOP contract, it doesn't look good. First thing first, this contract is one of many contractual agreements that the Chicago Police Department has with the city, one of the unions, right? Say 4 contracts. Say 4 contracts. 4 contracts. So it's 4 different contracts that the police got, right? It's the patrol, it's the captains, it's the sergeants, and it's the lieutenants. Say patrols, the captains, the sergeants, and the lieutenants. All right? So we going after the patrol. Say we going after the patrol. We going after the patrol. We going after the blue shirts. We going after the blue shirts. See, this is the thing about the blue shirts, right? Say right.
Right.
I gotta teach you. I gotta talk back to me, man. All right. See, the blue shirts say they make up 8,500. Say they make up 8,500.
8,500.
See, they 8,500 deep. But in Chicago, in this black skin, we 1,000,000 deep. So who really winning? That's just food for thought. That's what we to know. Y'all can go back there later and digest that. When y'all really ready trying to make some noise, y'all go digest that. The patrol unit, the patrol union makes up 8,500 officers. That's 8,500 officers that this contract covers. That means this contract gives 8,500 officers the right to shoot you, exercise and practice misconduct without any accountability, or not enough accountability. Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
See, we gonna change that. And we gonna break down this contract and educate our community. Because we need to learn, we already know about protesting, but we need to learn about policy. Say policy.
Policy.
Say policy.
Policy.
See, we gonna change the policy, and that's what we gonna focus on today. So when we talk about this FOP contract, and we go to our first slide, the first thing that we need to know, right, is that the DOJ, the Department of Justice came and they did an investigation into the Chicago Police Department, right? Somebody say Laquan McDonald. So when Laquan got shot, the Department of Justice came and did an investigation on the police department. This is the federal government. The federal government said that this is a racist. This is a racist institution. This is a racist organization. This is a racist police department, right? That have been violating the rights of black and brown people for not months, not days, not weeks, not just years, but decades. Say decades. Decades. But decades. They have been violating our rights as black people, as brown people, as residents of the city of Chicago. Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
You violating our rights and you just getting away with it, right? But for a long time, I used to wonder how was they getting away with it. We'll be 1,000. I'd have been up here and it's been 100 of us. I'd have been up here and it's been 1,000 of us. But each time I come up here, I always watch the police smile and smirk. Even though in my heart I was dead serious. We was dead serious. They didn't have the looks that they got now because we figured it out. See, they knew that they was protected. And they protected by this contract. So they protected by this contract.
Protected by this contract.
We got to reimagine this contract. So anyways, when we got to the DOJ came and said this is a racist institution. See, the thing about that, though, even though that you decreed and you declared, right, that it's racist people on this institution, that didn't get them off of the police department. You understand me? So this racist police, even after that came out, they're still on the force. It's police that have literally 30, 40, 50, 100 complaints, and they're still on payroll right now. Say that ain't right. That ain't right. So this is what we're going to do. Go to the next line. Right? These are the type of things that's what's wrong with the contract. It makes it hard to identify police misconduct. It makes it too easy for police officers to lie about misconduct. We're going to talk about that. Requires officers to ignore and destroy evidence of misconduct. It makes it hard to investigate and be transparent about misconduct. And number 5, which I hate the most, is it allows repeat abusers to cost taxpayers money without accountability. I don't hate that the most because of the money part. I hate that the most because it allows habitual offenses. Say habitual. Say habitual. See, what it is that they let these officers with 30, 40, 50 complaints stay on the force. And they inflict injury on each one of us. Say that ain't right.
Ain't right.
Go to the next slide. So these are some of the solutions. These are some of, these are 3 of many that we have to point out. That's what's wrong with it, right? We're going to touch on sworn affidavits. We're going to touch on the 24-hour rule. And we're going to touch on the use of disciplinary records. So if we're talking about complaints, right? Say sworn affidavit. Sworn affidavit. Sworn affidavit.
Sworn affidavit.
Alright. So when the police do something to you, and you go to COPA, say go to COPA. Say go to COPA.
Go to COPA.
When you go to COPA, you have to sign something called a sworn affidavit. Say sworn affidavit. The thing that's problematic about this sworn affidavit, right, is that it requires us to swear under oath with our identity that the police did something to us. So they come into our community, afflict injury, and then when we have to go and hold them accountable, we gotta sign a sworn affidavit with our identity, right? See, I can't speak for everybody, but in my neighborhood, the police come harass us. They harass us. They come and harass us. This sworn affidavit has to go. It has to go. We need to make sure that the contract says the sworn affidavit policy has to be abolished. In order for them to even order for an investigation to continue, you gotta sign the affidavit. Even if it's on dash cam, even if you got video footage, you gotta sign a sworn affidavit just so COPA can further their investigation. They say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
And number 6, you can see statistics. Statistics. 58%, y'all, of the 17,000 complaints filed over a 4-year period were not fully investigated because they didn't have any sworn affidavits. That means if the police do something to us, even if it's credible and legit, and we don't sign a sworn affidavit with our information on it, they're not going to investigate. Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
Say the affidavit's got to go.
Affidavit's gotta
The
go.
affidavit's got to go.
Affidavit's gotta go.
All right, 24-hour rule. This is crazy. Because I don't know how a public servant, somebody who's deemed to work for us, has these type of luxuries, and even private citizens don't. If the police shoot one of us, they ain't got to say nothing about it for like a day, 2 days, until they get their story together. If they come over here in our hood and pop one of us, it's a contractual agreement that they ain't got to say nothing about it until their union rep come and represent them. And they can wait up to 24 hours. When it was IMPRA, say IMPRA. When it was IMPRA, say IMPRA. When it was IMPRA, they used to wait weeks. They used to go weeks without investigating the police shooting. And sometimes months without investigating the police shooting. Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
That's not right.
Right.
All right. Number 8 on the 24-hour rule. It say during that time there is no requirement for the officers to be separated. Delays make it easier to lie and corroborate the stories. So let me tell you a story. It was a young man. He was walking away from the police. They shot him 16 times, right? The officer that shot him got with his co-partners, right? Because of this rule, he got with their co-partners, and they falsified the police report. Say falsified.
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 They falsified the police report because of this rule. Because it's a contractual agreement with the city of Chicago and the Blue Shirt Union that say if you pop one of us, you can not only have a day to think about it, but you can go with your counterparts and get y'all story together. Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
Number 9, talk about what I just said. In the case of the shooting of Laquan McDonald, several officers gave remarkably similar statements that were all proven false by video evidence. Thank God that we was able to get the dash cam out, right? Because if we wasn't able to get that dash cam out, it would have been their word against our witnesses. You get what I'm saying? And that's not an isolated incident. This ain't just one time the police did something. It's just one time they got caught on camera. And that's what you got to understand. This is one time that the police got caught on camera red-handed, and they could not deny it. So that ain't right.
That ain't right.
All right. The use of force, I definitely want to talk about this in the contract too when we bring it up. The DOJ recognizes that the FOP contract undermines the effectiveness of CBD's accountability process. And it's basically been, what that means is everything that we've been talking about, even the Department of Justice, the federal government has said the police union contract is how they get away with all this misconduct. This is the federal government came in that investigated the police and said it's because of that contract. This is how they get away with it. This is how they get away with it. The FOP Large 7 Patrol Union contract. It's so crazy they call patrol unions because slave patrols, but we're going to touch on that later. All right, I go to the next one. Go to the next one. All right, so look. That is disrespectful. Now go back. Now go to the office. Yeah, cool. All right, so look. So a part of my teaching, and this is the bulk of the information. This is where you get all the meat and potatoes at right here. This is where you get the meat and potatoes of why they really, really corrupt, why they really, really doing the things that they're doing, and how much it's affecting us, right? So let's go to the first one. Click FOP contract. No, go to the whole contract. Oh, you think it's gonna cut out? All right, you can take it out. All right, go to that. So This one was that too? Because that's in white. Alright, now go to the contract. Let's just try it. Alright, this is the contract in its entirety. If you scroll up, it got 33 different articles in their union, right? Say Article 6.
Article 6. Article 6.
Article 6.
This is how they get away with whatever they're doing. This is what we need to focus on as a community. It's the Bill of Rights in Article 6. This is what we need to focus on in our community if we gonna change the culture. Listen, a consent decree not gonna do it. The superintendent enacting reforms not gonna do it. A new mayor is definitely not gonna do it. This is how we're gonna change the culture of Chicago Police Department. We have to attack this Article 6 in the Bill of Rights. Say Article 6.
Article 6.
Article 6.
Article 6.
So y'all can read this in its entirety, but this will be available and made available on the Reimagining website or hitthehood.com/reimagine. We're gonna make sure all this is available. You can read the entire contract in its entirety, but Article 6 is what you want to focus on the most. Say Article 6.
Article 6.
All right, let's go to the next resource slide. Focus on Article 6, FOP rules of conduct. This is some other stuff. This is some very interesting information. Now, this is for the entire Chicago Police Department. This is the rules of conduct for the entire police department. If we go to Article 5 on this one. Now, this dictates the conduct of all Chicago police officers. No matter if you're a blue shirt, no matter if you're a white shirt, no matter who you are. This right here, this dictates the conduct of all of them. So if we go to Article 5 inside this, Article 5, right there, rules of conduct, right? You can go in here and see the rules of conduct of Chicago police officers. Say that again. Say that again. See, I love this, right? This is how you hold any Chicago police officers accountable. Because they have 55, say 55, 55 rules of conduct that they must abide by. There's 55 rules of conduct that every Chicago police officer is supposed to abide by. Say 55, and go to rule number 8. Rule number 8 says something like, no disrespect or maltreatment of any person while on or off duty. How many people, by raise your hand class, how many people have been disrespected by Chicago Police Department on and off duty? Say that ain't right. So when they pull up and they disrespect you, you tell the rule 8 you out of body, sir. Rule 8 you out of body, sir. See, I was in a mob. We used to holler at rules and laws when somebody was out of body. See, rule 8 you out of body, sir. You out of body, you out of body. You gotta learn their laws, you gotta learn their rules and use them against them. Go to rule number 14. Rule number 14. Making a false report, written or oral. Right? Rule number 14. When they lie, when you lie, you're not. That's the rule. When they lie, that's rule 14. If you know they're lying, rule 14 violation. You go to COPA, you go to IAD, you hold them accountable. Say, hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable.
Rule 15, intoxication on or off duty. I didn't even know that. If they're police, they're not supposed to be intoxicated on or off duty. But he's nervous. You understand? I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. Intoxication on or off duty. That's number 15. They ain't supposed to get wasted even if they off the clock. Even if they off the clock, they ain't even supposed to get wasted. I didn't even know that. Say Rule 15.
Rule 15. Rule 15.
Rule 15.
Rule 15.
Hey, scroll up some more. Administrator 34, 36, 38. Unlawful or unnecessary use or display of a weapon. How many times have you been in your community and you watch the Slickers, the Jump Out Boys, the TAC unit, gang org, whatever, hop out with their tool in their hand for no reason? With no reason. With no reason. They just hop out. They just hop out. They just hop out with their guns for no reason. It ain't even gotta be just their guns. They can hop out with pepper spray, with their taser. See, this a weapon. This a weapon. A billy club. So when we outside and they bounce their billy club and baton, that's unnecessary. We're peaceful people. That's unnecessary. You in violation of Rule 38, sir. Ma'am, officer, you in violation of Rule 38. Unnecessary. Say unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Say unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Go to Rule 55. I want y'all to learn all these. We got to know what we need to know. Rule 55. Some of this stuff is real important. All of it is important to hold them accountable, but some are more extreme than others and less extreme. Rule 55. Rule 55. Holding a cigarette, cigar, or pipe while in uniform or in official contact with the public. How many times have y'all seen a police smoke a cigar, smoke a cigarette, chew tobacco? You understand what I'm saying? I didn't even know this was a rule. I didn't even know this was a rule. Rule 55 says you can't smoke no squares on uniforms, sir.
It's things that
You
you
can't
never
smoke no
thought,
cigar on
like, that would
uniform,
be
sir.
on
Put
there.
that out.
And that's just some
When
of
you
what
see
I've
them, say,
seen.
put
Like,
that
I haven't
out.
even looked at the whole
Say,
contract
put
yet.
that out. If you want to get real greasy, you videotape them. They want to act arrogant. You videotape them. Send it to Copa. Hashtag Rule 55. Hashtag Rule 55. Anything you see something wrong, we're going to create an app. You're going to record it. It's going to go straight to Copa. And you hashtag any rule that they're violating. So if you see them doing something like that, you hashtag Rule 55. Say hashtag Rule 55. I need all of us to learn these rules of conduct. This is important. This is how you hold them accountable. It's some things in there that I didn't even know about. That, like the intoxication on and off duty. I didn't know about that. I had to read this thing from top to bottom. And there's some more things, but those are just several that I wanted to point out that was like macro and micro for us to understand, all right? So they reimagine.
Reimagine.
They reimagine.
Reimagine.
All right, so this one is really important. The Citizens Data Project. The Citizens Data Project. So if you go in here, when you go in here and you the Citizens Data Project. So when you go ahead, you click this, and you go here, this portal, say Jamie Calvin.
Jamie Calvin.
So Jamie Calvin is a journalist. He's the one that helped me find out that Laquan got shot 16 times by requesting the autopsy. So he's a journalist. Him and his organization created this website. This website will allow you to figure out what type of officers you got in your neighborhood.
Are you in the patrol car though?
This one website will allow you to know what type of officers you got in your neighborhood. They so shook.
Is he relevant to show right now? No, it's
All right, so look. So I use this at the last teach-in, right? So we're gonna do a practice run. Somebody say Glenn Evans.
Glenn Evans.
Say Glenn Evans.
Glenn Evans.
So we're gonna type in Glenn Evans' name, right? Right? And then you click Glenn Evans' name. Click his name, please.
I'll take pictures. Oh, okay, cool.
And when you pull up, when you type Glenn Evans' name in, his profile come up. You got Glenn Evans, his year of birth, his race, his sex, his badge numbers, right? The reason why he got 4 different badge numbers is why. Who can say? Who knows?
But he had a white shirt with like
Huh?
brown, gray
They keep
pants.
changing on the phone.
There you go. What's another? Why you think he got 4?
They were tunneling everybody in. When they were tunneling everyone in, he
He got different positions. He got promoted. He got 4 different badge or star numbers. You know why? Because he got promoted. He went from patrol to the blue shirt. They didn't stop him there. He was raising terror as a blue shirt. They said that wasn't enough. Go be a sergeant. He started raising terror as a sergeant. That wasn't enough. Go be a captain. Right? That wasn't enough. They promoted him to a commander. Say that ain't right. Say that ain't right. So let me give you a little more demo about Glenn Evans, right? Glenn Evans was charged in 2014, right? That's my boy T.O. He can contest to this because he the one who really brought this to my attention about the history of Glenn Evans, right? Glenn Evans was chasing somebody one day, right? He's chasing him, right, bro? He grabbed him. He chased him into a bando. He chased him in the trap or whatever. He chased him in the bando. He grabbed him, Tumbo, stuck his gun in his mouth, took his service weapon out, put it in his mouth. I don't mean just to his lip. I mean in his throat. Busted, wide open, right? To the point the man couldn't breathe, right? This before Air Gardner. He was saying, literally, I can't breathe, right? The guy, the subject, I'm not going to call him a suspect, but the subject, the gentleman who this happened to, he tells his lawyers, right? His lawyers go tell the state's attorney office, or IAD, right? They come check for his service weapon. They're like, man, let us see your pistol. They bring his pistol, right, bro? They swab it for DNA evidence. The DNA in the pistol matches the man's mouth he put the gun in. You understand? He caught, right? You think, right? You think he caught red-handed, right? Say, what happened, Will? I'm gonna tell y'all. So, the state's attorney pressed charges on him for like aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, right? Let me tell you how important like picking judges say we gotta get the right judges in.
Get the right judges in.
And we gotta get the wrong judges out. So we go up here to court and the judge say, you know what? Even though the DNA evidence from his pistol matches this young man's mouth, that's still not enough evidence to convict him. As a result of that, she dismisses the case. Now, mind you, right? Mind you, I like your body work. I like that, y'all comfortable. So mind you, right? He don't go and tell Glenn later, like, hey, they talking about you out here. Hey, so mind you, he's a commander. When he did that with the pistol, he was a commander, right? So he was waiting. He couldn't work because he was fighting a charge. So he beat the case, right?
How he beat the case?
The system.
How?
When he beat the case, right? He goes back to court. He goes back to work, right? And say Copa made the recommendation to separate him from the department. So when Copa make a recommendation, it goes to the police superintendent, okay? Let me give y'all this structure. When Copa makes a recommendation, whether the police should be disciplined or not, it goes to the superintendent. When it goes to the superintendent, he or she is a he now, has always been a he, matter of fact, but he has to say yes or no to that recommendation. So me and Eddie, I love Eddie, but we fell out over this. Eddie said nah. Eddie said no, he shouldn't be terminated. So then it went to the police board. When the superintendent and Copa can't agree on the disciplinary action, it goes to the police board. Say police board.
Police board.
It's a 7-member panel right here every third Thursday. That's why I picked today to come, right? We used to come here for months, if not years, trying to hold them accountable. Long story short, right? So the police board said, police board. The police board took a vote to whether or not to keep him or not. What you think they did?
Because he's still here.
They voted to keep him. So you got somebody who put their gun in somebody's mouth, right? Put their gun in somebody's mouth and y'all chose to keep them on the force. Say that ain't right. Let's go deeper on Glenn Evans. Let's go deeper. If you enlarge this, enlarge
when you look at it, it's like 43.
132 allegations. That's how many allegations that he had against him.
They were able to get like.
Glenn Evans have 132
and then he's gonna go over the rest right now.
allegations against him. I don't know. Listen,
Only
bro.
12.
listen, please tell me, bro. If you know somebody hiring, let me know what organization, what institution, bro, can you work for with 132 allegations against you and you still stay employed? 132. How can y'all with good conscience support that? You don't give me hype. 132 allegations, right? 132 allegations. Let me see. Let me show y'all something else. Out of 132 allegations, 12 was sustained. Out of 132 allegations, 12 was sustained. Out of 132, that's less than 10%. That's less than 10%, right? And then scroll over, administrator.
And you'll see more.
Use of force. 21 complaints for use of force. So not only did you have 132 allegations, but you put your hands on somebody at least 21. You put your hands on somebody at least 21 times.
How much you made?
And 21 times, I'm gonna get to that. And this is what I want y'all, this is when we're talking about critical thinking. I want all us to put our critical thinking hat on. Say, touch your hat like this, touch your hat like this, because y'all critical thinkers. I speak that over you right now, right? When you enlarge a little bit, so you see, so 132 allegations right there. So this is what we're critically thinking. Out of 132 allegations, you gotta think, these are just the people who took time to go make the complaint. These are just 132 people who went down to make a complaint. Because the complaint office is on Chicago and Ashland. That's where the COPA office is at, right? So if I live in the Gardens on 130th, I got kids, I got a wife, I got bills, I got other obligations. Do you think it's that easy for me to travel from 130th to, or if I gotta work, or if I got school, or whatever life issues I got? These are just 132 people that took time out or had the time to go out. So if we're critically thinking, it's way more. Say way more. Say it's way more. It's way more. So even with that, look at this. Right now he's a lieutenant of police. If we scroll over and look over here, we enlarge this. This is how much he made. 125. Right now, Glenn Evans is still on the force. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? $125,000 a year. Right now, he's an active police career, July 14th, 86 to present. He's an active police, a lieutenant, with 132 allegations against him, 12 sustained, and he had a criminal court case. And he's still on the force making $125,000 a year. Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
Say deform.
Deform.
Say deform.
Deform.
I thought you would never say that though. Let's do it. Let's explore that. Let's explore that. Let's look for one more though. Let's look for one more. Let's look one for more. Let's put Brown. I'ma use this, especially so Aaron, people like Aaron can use it for his youth. Monse can use it for her youth. Cornelius Brown. Click that, please. So this is why this was important to me. Now remember, you could use this site to look up any police officer. So if we wanted to, we could go pull their badges right now, each and every last one of their badges, and look at their complaint. And look at their complaint record. We can see they rank, we can see when they got on the force, and we can see how much money they make. All right? Say stay informed.
Stay informed.
So this one, Cornelius Brown, bro. This one is why it's so crazy. Cause look what district he in. That's our district. That's our district. That's East Side. That's East Side. And look, what's his rank? What's his rank?
Sergeant.
He a sergeant. And look, he black. He black. How much he make? So you mean to tell me with how many allegations he got against him? 67? Make this larger so they can see it in the back. 67, are you willing to keep somebody on your payroll with 67 allegations? Now y'all gotta talk to me. Are you willing to keep somebody on payroll with 67 allegations?
No.
Say no.
No.
Say no.
No.
Say nah, dog.
Nah, dog.
We not keeping him. So when we talk about defunding the police, this is what we saying. It's no reason why somebody like him with 67 allegations or Glenn Evans with 132 allegations, both of them combined taking up over $225,000 of the budget. $250,000 between those two. And you not even serving the public, you abusing the public. Say defund.
Defund.
Say defund.
Defund.
This is what we're talking about when we saying defund. It's no reason why officers like that should be on the police department getting that type of money. It's no reason why they should be on the Chicago Police Department, and you and I, they raise taxes on us. I'm surprised they ain't taxed us to sleep yet. Anything, we get taxed for everything, and this is why we get taxed. Say defund.
Defund.
Let's explore more about the defund part. But listen, I want to make this available to everybody. We're going to put this on the app. I'm going to talk to Jamie, and we're going to get this on the app. We're going to make sure that people and all the community is able, anytime the police stop you, you can put their information inside this, and you can see what type of officer you got. Oh, I'm sorry. Go down a little bit. It gives you all this information. Make this a little bigger. Use of force. Go down. Scroll. Use of force. False arrest. Keep going. Use of force. Illegal search. Lockup procedure. Use of force. 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 You get to see what type of person, what type of animal, what type of animal,
What type of pig?
what type of animal. And listen, you think when the police stop you and they a blue shirt, that you be like, man, I want to see a supervisor. So you ask for a white shirt. Right?
He's the white
A
shirt.
white shirt right up, this is what you get.
This the fucking right.
A white shirt
That's
right
right.
up, this is what you get. A white shirt right up, this is what you get. So it's not just a patrol officer problem, it's a cultural problem. You understand me? It's the Chicago Police Department culture. You get a blue shirt, you got drama with the blue shirt, you like, man, go give me your supervisor. This your supervisor. 67 allegations. 20-something use of force. You understand what I'm saying? This is a cultural problem. Say defund.
Defund.
Say defund.
Defund.
All right. And then when you click this, you can go ahead and click this. It'll bring up the report or what type of use of force issue it was, or whatever the case may be. It had the logistics on it, on where it was, et cetera, et cetera. Let's go to the money piece. Say defund.
Defund.
Damn, they mad back there.
They sure are. They sure
Y'all
are
know
mad.
we built the White House.
Okay.
We built the country.
Okay. So this is a portal, right? That the Chicago Reporter put out. See, when we talking about defunding the police, a lot of people think that's talking about dismantling.
No.
But what we saying is, Charlie, if I got a corporation and this arm of the corporation is not servicing the people that we trying to service, not only are you not servicing them, but you costing us money because when you do something to them, they sue us. They sue us. So not only you're not doing your job, but they sue us. They would go get the big boss. They like Callaway out there talking that talk. Hey, so they sue us, right? I mean, they sue us. This is why we saying defund the police. Because in the past 10 years, say $1 billion.
1 billion.
Say $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion in police conduct settlements have been issued out to people. $1 billion in police misconduct suits have been issued out. Say that's a problem. Say that ain't right. Say that ain't right. So when you go on the Chicago Reporter website and you can start looking at people's names, you can start searching by people's names. If you go like to the left-hand corner on the website, you can tap in people's names. Say defund.
Defund.
Say defund.
Defund.
So if you type in and we type in Evans, E-V-A-N-S, blue, Wiggle, Glenn Evans, found them.
There you go. There you go.
Now just click them.
Dang. That's how much money.
That's how much money he's cost the city.
This is how
of
much
Chicago.
in suits he done cost the city.
It cost us.
You making $125,000, right? You making $100. This is why we saying defund. Don't let no media trick you. Don't let no media trick you or send you off. This is what we're talking about defund. You getting $125,000 and you done cost me $266. You got 132 allegations against you, and you done cost me 266. Stop, man, get out. Get out. Get out. It shouldn't be nothing to talk about. Why? This is what we're talking about when we're talking about defund. There's no company, there's no institution, there's no organization in corporate America, y'all. I done worked in the private sector, the corporate sector, now I'm serving the public, dog. I've never seen no organization that will allow you to have that many allegations and still compensate you. Not only do they compensate you, it's room for promotion. You get promoted for misconduct. It seems like the more they do wrong, the more power they give them. The more wrong that they do, the more power that they give them. Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
266, 500. Go to Brown. Type in Brown.
At least they better have a house. Like, even better.
You know how much of that shit could be going to programs for y'all?
Yeah.
To pay y'all's education?
And
You know how many times I have to go to school with that?
All that money, I can do so many things. And
It's ridiculous.
Cornelius Brown, right? After this, I'm gonna just give me like 10 more minutes. I got something I really want to show you. Right? Cornelius Brown, $107,000 right now. That's how much he makes as a sergeant, right? He's getting us $152,000. So him combined with Glenn Evans, y'all making like $250,000, right? Already between y'all two knuckleheads. And on top of that, you done cost us almost $500,000. Why? This is why we saying defund, man. It's practical and it's logical. Don't let the media send you off. Don't let nobody send you off. Don't roll that up, bro. Give it to somebody else to hold. We don't roll that up. All right, go to the contract. Say Article 6.
Article 6.
Say Article 6.
Article 6.
Say Article 6.
Article 6.
I'm gonna break this down for y'all. We gonna
next time.
this,
Am I right?
yeah, I just really is this informative for you all?
Yeah.
Is this informative for you all?
Sure is.
Hey, I wanted to feed y'all. I really do. But I can't tell y'all how much satisfaction it just give me watching the officers be uncomfortable. Now that's the part I love the most. I love that more than anything. Like I love that. All right, so this is the Bill of Rights. Say Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights.
Article 6.
Article 6.
Say Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights.
Yeah, Article 6.
Article 6.
Say Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights.
Article 6.
Article 6.
Say Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights.
Article 6.
Article 6.
Change that.
Change that.
Change that. We're gonna change that. So when we scroll up, when we scroll down, this is Article 6 of the Bill of Rights. Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. It's only 6 pages long. They got all that type of power worth of 6 pages in ink. Y'all do more scrolling on Facebook on a daily than that. Y'all can read that and decipher this like it's nothing. I read this in an hour. It only took me that long because I had to stop because I was so disgusted. You understand? This is not a long read, y'all. We have to read this and break this down. Say, break it down.
break it down.
We're gonna break it down. So this letter D right here, right? If you enlarge that for me, administrator.
Sorry, it's okay.
See, this is something in that says, like right there, perfect. Unless the superintendent of police specifically authorizes in writing, right? No complaint or allegation of any misconduct concerning any incident or any event which have occurred 5 years prior to the date of the complaint can be reinvestigated or reopened after 5 years. So let me tell you something. Say Dakota Bright. Say Dakota Bright. Now, let me tell you something. Let me show y'all Dakota. Dakota at? This is Dakota. This is Dakota. His mama not here right now. That's Dakota. Right? This is Dakota. Right on there. Right on there. Right above the T. Right above the T. Right? I want y'all to see Dakota. All right. The banner gonna be there. Let me break this down to you because I believe in visual aid, right? Say Dakota Bright. Say Dakota Bright. In 2012, Dakota Bright was assaulted by a police officer. That police officer had kicked his teeth out. Marlon, kicked his teeth out, bro. He's running. He see the police. That same police officer. He's 15, Dakota. He see that same law officer, right? He take off running. It's like 2 weeks later after he kicked his teeth off. He take off running. Do you know on 67th Indiana that same police officer turn a hand, like chase Dakota, caught him in the alley, right? Sized him up, popped him in the back of the head, popped him in the back of the head. Not no chest shots, not no back shots. I'm talking about the autopsy said symmetrically in the middle of his head. He said in his police report that Dakota turned around and pointed a gun at him, and that's why he shot. Say you lying.
You lying.
So let me break this down to you. Let me tell you something. So they reopen, say reopen. They reopen his case, right? Because of that provision, because it's 5 years and older, you can't hold the police accountable for nothing old. So even though the IPRA rule is justified, we got rid of IPRA. Copa came, right, with Sharon Fairley, right? Sharon said, you know what, Will, we're going to reinvestigate this. She reinvestigated. She said it was a bogus shooting. But because of this, he's still on the force, active duty. But because of this, you can't hold the police accountable for anything over 5 years. Even if they did wrong. This young boy was 15, had his whole life ahead of him, and lost his life. Listen, dead wrong. Say, change that.
Change that.
Let's go to another one. Let me get this straight, y'all. Thank y'all. Let's scroll up some, administrator. Okay, cool. We got like 2 more provisions I want to show. It's a lot in here, but I'm going to just show a little bit for time's sake. All right. So an officer under investigation, right? This letter H under the Bill of Rights. An officer under investigation will be provided with a copy of any and all statements that officer has made that are audio or in writing within 72 hours after the statement was made. In the event of a reinterrogation, the officer is required within 3 days of that initial interrogation to receive those statements that he's made or he or she made. This is why this is problematic, right? Because if the officer says something, that means once they bring Officer Calloway back in, I got to give Officer Calloway all the statements he made in the first interrogation. And I got to do it 3 days in advance. See, this is how they keep their lie going. This is how they keep their lie going. Because you giving them this information 3 days in advance so they can't perjure themselves. And then they get to go with their cohorts and corroborate their stories. This is what we saw with Laquan McDonald. Say 9 officers.
9 officers.
Falsified.
Falsified.
Say 9 officers.
9 officers.
Falsified.
Falsified.
9 officers.
9 officers.
Falsified.
Falsified.
This is why we got to reimagine this contract. Because if they brought one of us in for interrogation, we don't have that luxury. We don't have that luxury. If they bring one of us in, ain't no 3 days in advance. Hey, Will, can you come down here to the... Hey, can you come down here in like 3 days, 4 days? I'm going to give you all the stuff that you said to us before. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you got a lawyer, because we're not going to talk to you unless you got a lawyer. You understand? This is in their contract. This is how they get away with lying. This is how they get away with it. Roll up. Scroll up a little bit. Say, change that.
Change that.
I go up small. Everything highlighted is just things. Hold on. All right, the 72 hours. Okay, that's sort of similar. Keep going.
That was a 72-hour one.
Oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, and then we're gonna close shop, right? Photo dissemination. No photo of an officer under investigation shall be made available to the media prior to a conviction for a criminal offense or to a decision being rendered by the police board except required by law. Say that ain't right.
Right.
Let me break this down what this means, right? So when the police come to our neighborhood and they do something to us, and we go to the police district and we ask to see that officer, they by contractual agreement, say you got a cool commander, they be like, man, that was some jacked up stuff they did. And you like, but commander such and such, we need to see that picture. By contractual agreement, by law, they cannot give the picture up of that officer. Let me tell you why this is so interesting, right? The police was established in slavery. You understand? They used to come try to catch slaves that ran away for their freedom. You understand what I'm saying? Say, teach, Will. They used to, it was called slave patrol. Now, they call blue patrol. You understand what I'm saying? The slave patrol evolved into the Ku Klux Klan. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, follow me. The slave patrol evolved into the Ku Klux Klan. When the Klan used to come in our neighborhood and they used to terrorize our community, they used to put white sheets on, bro, so we couldn't see their face. And they would strike and terrorize our neighborhood, so we couldn't see them, and we couldn't identify them. And they would go back and doing their regular day-to-day job the next day.
You want to ask? I think he's gonna do.
They evolved from the Klan. They evolved into policy. So now, when the Klan come and strike and kill, see, now when the Klan see the devil busy, y'all gonna get this work. Y'all gonna get this work. See, now when the Klan come in our neighborhood, they ain't gotta wear sheets. Section 6.4. See, now section 6.4 is their white sheet. So when they come and try to strike terror in our neighborhood, and we gonna try to figure out who that was, anytime it's a police shooting, they always say we can't release it. And we thought for a long time y'all full of it. But no, they was literally, legally saying we can't release it. Legally. This is the white sheet over their face. When the police killed Nunu, this was the white sheet over their face. You know what I'm saying? We ain't know. The whole East Side like, man, you know what I'm saying, what the police look like. Only reason that we knew what Snoop looked like when they killed him on 71st is because of the body cameras. If we didn't have the body cameras that we fought so diligently for, we wouldn't know half of the stuff on what these officers look like. You know what I'm saying? 6.4 is that Ku Klux Klan sheet. So you saw that website earlier that we talked about, that you got the profile of everything. You got the profile of that officer, his race, how much he made, how long he been on, etc. Well, there ain't no picture up there. This is a slave patrol mentality, dog. This is slave patrol Ku Klux Klan mentality. That 6.4 is the white sheet. Say the white sheets gotta go. Say the white sheets gotta go. And the white sheets gotta go. See, they know. And this information starts to slowly more and more get out to the community. This is what they fear. This is what they fear. Because now we're gonna sit up there and we're gonna really start changing some stuff. Pull up John on that last time. Because we gotta know who our enemies are. Right? This man, if it was the Klan, this brother is the Grand Wizard. Alright? This guy in the right hand, right? Lower right hand. Lower right hand. Just enlarge it. You ain't even gotta. Lower right hand. Right there. Right there. Just keep it right there. So this is John Cantizaro.
Yeah. Even the six.
This is John. You gotta know who your opposition is. This is the president of the police union. So if this was the Ku Klux Klan, he's the Grand Wizard. Say hello, somebody. If this was the Ku Klux Klan, he's the Grand Wizard. You understand me? He's responsible right now. I've been through three since I've been organizing and been active. I've been through 3 police union presidents, right? He's the 3rd one. Dean Angelo was the 1st one. It was another guy, he ain't last long. John is the most problematic. You know why John the most problematic? Because John is outspoken about holding police in position, even though even though they practice misconduct. John has 30 complaints against him as a police officer. Say that ain't right.
Ain't right.
Say that ain't right.
Ain't right.
He got 30 complaints against him. And this is who the police union voted to be their president. This is their leader. This is the mindset of this organization that we're against. And this is why we have to reimagine what an FOP contract looks like. This is why we have to break this contract down and go disseminate it in our respective communities. I'm talking about from Rogers Park to Roseland, South Shore to Austin, the Southeast, Northwest. We have to bring this information. Y'all need to go tell 2 people in a week about this contract. That's your just duty. Once you have information, and it's up to you, you're obligated at that point to share information with somebody else. You can't keep it to yourself. This is John. John is not an ally. John is not an ally. Now, I'm willing to be diplomatic because that's just my faith in me, right? But this is what I'm going to tell you. I don't negotiate with terrorists. And you're not about to come and terrorize our community, represent 8,500 people that terrorize our community and think it's okay. That's what's not going to happen. This is John. For people that don't know, this is Glenn Evans. This is Glenn Evans. You ain't got to click on none of them. That's Jamie Kelvin. He's a good ally. If you scroll up. Of course, we know who he is. And those are officers that lied about Laquan. So all of this information to be immediately available on the slide. I'm still working out the kinks to make the slides public to everybody so people can have it and access it. But this is the information that we have to get out to our people, y'all. You understand? This is the information that we have to get out to our people. It's gonna take us to save us. Listen, bro, ain't nobody coming to save us. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news, dog. Ain't nobody coming to save us, bro. Hey, but us. I've been recognizing for 6-7 years. This man, he watched me rise in this, dog. It taught me a lot. Amina too. 7 years, 10,000 plus hours in community organizing. I'm telling you off experience, Joe. Nobody's coming to save us except for us. In addition to that, dog, this is how we gonna win. This is how we gonna change it. We gotta take down the contract. Now, as I conclude, and I'm gonna digress after I say this. And if y'all got any questions, let me know. I'm here. But I understand that people gotta go, but I'm here. Lori Lightfoot was at a meeting with John sometime this week, and they was at I know the devil busy. Y'all gonna get this work. One thing about me, I'm very diligent, bro. I'm very diligent. I'm a rider by nature. I'm just a warrior. That's how God designed me. So no matter what, I'm a warrior. I'm gonna see things all the way through. That's just how I'm built, period. That's just me. But look, Lori Lightfoot met with John. Say she met with John.
Met with John.
Say she met with John.
She met with John.
All right, so they met. They said some things to each other about the contracts. John didn't like it. He storms out, right? But the point is, right, she's making decisions about the contract and not including us. You understand what I'm saying? People in the community, right? She's making decisions about this contract and ain't even talk to people like her. You understand what I'm saying? This her son right here, murdered by Chicago police. How you sitting up here making decisions you ain't even talk to her? You ain't talk to none of them on there about a police contract? You understand what I'm saying? But she's a prosecutor, so she moves with that mentality. I can expect John to be John because I know who he is. He done showed me who he is. Once you show me who you are, I gotta believe you. That's it. I expect you to be who you are. Once you show me who you are, I gotta believe you. That's period. All right? There's one more thing I want to say. Say, Chris Talaferro. Gotta go. Let me tell you about Chris. Now, Chris Talaferro is on the Public Safety Committee. He's the alderman, because this is how we got to change the contract. Chris Salafero he's the chair of the Public Safety Committee. So he has a lot of say-so on how the contract negotiations go, right? But the thing about Chris, it's not that I have anything wrong with Chris, it's just that Chris was a former Chicago police officer. So I got a mayor that's a former federal prosecutor, and I got an alderman that's a former Chicago police officer sitting down with my opposition talking about what a new contract look like. That don't sound right. And you ain't come to the streets and talk to none of us about how we feel? Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
So when we talking about what a new contract looks like, y'all have to make sure this is all the information that I'm giving you, right? You have to ensure, like, look, Chris Talafero has to recuse himself. Say recuse. Recuse. Recuse is a legal terminology. Is that when you involve in any type of litigation, right? Let me break it down. I can go to work just a little bit. It's a legal terminology, right? That you have to, like, you got to remove yourself if any time that it's a conflict of interest between you and the other party. So because it's a conflict of interest between Chris Talafero and him being a police officer and him sitting at the table with police officer, he should what? Recuse himself. Y'all so smart, man. I love y'all. I love y'all black people. Listen.
He's an alderman who was a former.
I'm gonna make this available. Y'all just gotta give me some more time. I have to make, because when we publish it on the website, it can go on the hitthehood.org website. It can probably go on my website, but we're gonna make it public. That way you can have access to it. Say, give us access, Will. All right. Be cool. All right. So if y'all got any questions, I'm here for it. But go to that Bill of Rights. Go to that Bill of Rights one more time. Again, say Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights.
Say Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights.
Rights.
Article 6.
Article 6.
Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights.
Article 6.
Article 6.
Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights.
That is where they get their protection from. Don't ever forget that. And until we change that, and it's going to have to reflect what we want it to look like. Not what the fifth floor wanted to look like, not what the pundits wanted to look like, but what we on the streets in a community that's either advocating or been afflicted by police violence, what it should look like. And that is the righteous, fair, and just way to go about it. If anybody tell you anything else, they're a liar and the truth is not in them. All right? So, but this, I need y'all to really go in this. Scroll down, administrator. Keep going. Keep going. It's only what, like 5? It's only like 6 pages. It's only like 6 or 7 pages.
Oh, you're 400.
It's only 6 or 7 pages. Change the whole culture of policing right now. The only thing, I know I said the last thing, I was gonna say it was the last thing, but this, I got so much information. Like, I think about this all the time. So, like, I think about it. Listen, it is one policy. It ain't all about redaction. So we can go in here and redact stuff that don't look right, but bro, no, policy is about, and when you're talking about reimagining, you know what I'm saying, you can add to it. So it might be something in the contract that need to be added to it. It ain't just about redacting. So when you read it and you think about a police contract with your community, with your family, with your youth, with your organization, you can add stuff to it. So think about things that should be added to it. When Jason Van Dyke killed Laquan McDonald, the judge set him at a $1.5 million bond, right? Mm-hmm. If you from Cook County, ever been in trouble or got people out of trouble, that's 10% the woe. Mm-hmm. That's $150,000.
For your bond.
The union, this same union, under Dean Angelo, the president, this same union raised $150,000. Say $150,000.
$150,000.
This same FOP union raised $150,000 to bond Jason Van Dyke, y'all. You understand? I'm at the crib. We just got his tape out like a few days before, right? So I'm at the crib like, oh, he toast. Breaking news. I'm watching CNN at the crib, bro. You understand me? Watching this man leave out the courthouse because the union posted $150,000 for him. Say that ain't right.
That ain't right.
And when you think about it, who pays them? So wait, hold on.
That's our money.
So wait. So you took my bread You took my bread. You took my money and bonded him out of jail? You took my bread and bonded him out of jail. All right, cool. All right. They got away with that because it's not in the contract. It's nothing in the contract that says that if a sworn member is criminally charged, the union is prohibited from raising money for him or paying for legal defense. Because they pay for his legal defense. You understand what I'm saying? They pay, via us, they pay for his legal defense. I'm going to court every month for 2.5 years. You understand what I'm saying? 2.5 years, I'm going to court. Sometimes it just be me. I have to get on the bus because that was my assignment. You understand? And it just be me, Van Dyke, the prosecutor, and the judge. And a couple of FOP union members looking crazy, right? All I can think is that they're paying for this whole thing. You understand? The whole thing. The whole entire thing. They took our bread. Not only did they bond him out, they paid for his legal defense. And paid his family. And paid his family. Now he, in hindsight is, right? But now he's a convicted murderer. And then you talking about you just spent $700,000, probably close to $1 million, for his legal defense. But you said, and he's a murderer now, but you don't think we should defund the police? Are you insane? But again, you all, when you reimagine, it's not all about redaction. Those are things that you can add in the contract. If you got 30 complaints against you, you shouldn't be on the force. Period. That's something that should be in the contract. If you got 30 allegations against you, you shouldn't be on the force. And that's a policy that we can fight for. I don't know if Lori's fighting for that. If you got 30 allegations against you, you know what we gonna do? No, not, oh, okay, we got 30 allegations, I'm at 20, bro. Nah, skip that. Hey, skip that. We got something for you too. But what we gonna do is make it retroactive. We gonna make this policy retroactive. So even if you got 30 complaints and you think it's cool, nah, we gonna make it retroactive. So anybody who got 30 complaints in the past 30 years, you eligible to get terminated, bro. We gonna make it retroactive. And that's the policy that we could put in here. But we have to be determined to do that. It's more than just getting in the streets, y'all, and just doing that. It's a time and a place for that. But this is how we gotta fight. This is how we gotta fight, y'all. All right? So with that being said, I conclude and digress. I hope this has been informative to you. And just give a just a round of applause for yourself for coming out and listening to my big mouth. Yeah, so if y'all got any questions, you got a question?
So, thank you so much for teaching, brother, because this is strong and powerful. Now, once people read all of this, right, and they understand all of it, what is the next step for people after they've read whatever they've read and they get an understanding? What is the next thing that people need to do with the information outside of sharing?
So her question is what you do with the information. What's the next step? So say September 25th.
September 25th.
We meet again.
Meet again.
September 25th.
September 25th.
We meet again. September 25th is an important day because that's Laquan McDonald's birthday. I want us to try to, I've been working with Dr. LaShawn, Dr. Amina, and a few more people to try to draft what a new FOP contract looks like. But we need to do something on his birthday to commemorate him and say, hey, submit something to the city, make it public to say, hey, this is what a new police contract looks like. So September 25th on 71st in Chappelle, we're going to meet again. All right? Let's do like around the same time, okay? And if you came with somebody, bring a person or two. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to really put my organizing hat on and really dedicate more time for this. I've been having a lot of fires on the stove, but I'm going to really dedicate more time, so we can really build some muscle for this for sure. Anybody else had another question?
Well, I want to introduce Latasha Singleton to you. Latasha. Her daughter was killed, and she wants to say something in address to you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nortasha Stingley. I was out here earlier today, and this is part 2. Who gonna check? All right? I come out here today. I'm a mom here in Chicago. I speak about the violence. My daughter was killed. She was a 19-year-old college student. She was killed on 73rd and King Drive. The person that killed her was locked up. They asked for one person to come forward. They got that one person. They identified this man. The police department released this man back into the community. My thing is with the police, I know police. All police aren't good. Aren't good and aren't bad. Let me say that first of all. The policies that are going on now within the police department, all police departments around the world. I speak peace. I pray that all police officers will listen to this. I speak to the minds and hearts of every officer around this world, around the world nationally. It's time. It's time to wake up and know that we are all created equal. We are all people that bleed the same color blood. Red. The same blood that Jesus Christ died on the cross for all of us. All of us. And my thing is this, my good brothers and sisters in the blue uniforms. Every evil, wicked, iniquity that are doing the works of evilness that are in the police department, the ones that sit and look at them doing these evil works of iniquity, I call you workers of iniquity. Oh my good God, we come to tear you down today. Tear you down. I speak love, I speak peace. There will be no more knees on the necks of our people. There will be no more bullets in the backs and in the heads of our people. There will be no more other officers standing by allowing this. To the officers that sit by and allow it, that are good, I pray that your minds change, your hearts change, that you will speak up. When you see wrongdoings, don't stand by idle and not say anything. Speak up. Because if you stay silent, you're just as wrong as the evil doers. Oh, I speak to the evil doers. Good God Almighty. Thank you, good brother, for having me out here. I appreciate you. You do good work, brother. I watch you. God bless you and God keep you and cover you from the workers of evil iniquity.
I'm okay.
Oh, good God.
I'm okay.
I wish I had a Bible so I could stand here. Just like they stand with the good Bible. The same Bible teaches us to be strengthened by power and authority from God. Okay? So when we stand up and be held accountable and take an oath, that oath says protect and serve. That means you protect life. You don't take life. You do goodness. You're supposed to serve the people and protect them. You are being paid by the people. And if you can't stand up and do right, sit down or lay down. Gotta stand up and do what's right. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm a mother. I speak love and peace to you. I'm not going up against anything. What I'm saying is, when you sit down and make these laws and rules and regulations, make them accordingly. Make them morally and justice right towards all men and women. Keep your neck off of the people. Keep your bullets out of the backs and heads of the people. My God is displeased. He's displeased. And he see the cover-ups. He see the injustices towards his people. His people. And when there is injustice, God is displeased. And I pray with all power and authority that the God that sits high and look low, the Alpha and Omega, that he'll uncover and expose every worker of iniquity, every evil doer of wickedness. I pray that. Yes, sir. I thank you for having me. I pray that my words will touch the minds and hearts of every officer across this nation, and that they'll get the right rules and policies that will be according to the people that they are being paid by. The people that you work for. Stand up and do right and take your necks off the people. Stand up and do right and take your guns and put them back in the holster. stand up and do right and keep your bullet clubs and your side holsters. We thank you. I thank you for allowing me to speak. May God bless you all, even the officers. I pray for y'all, because y'all need prayer. God see y'all if don't nobody else see you, my dear brothers and sisters. God bless y'all. And guess what? Happy Thankful Thursday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tasha.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. Say September 25th, 71st in Chappelle. Say September 25th,
25th,
71st in Chappelle.
51st and Chappelle.
I appreciate y'all so much. If you came with somebody, make sure y'all get home safely. If you didn't, and you need a ride or you need anything, please let one of us know so we can make sure you get home safely. Much love to you all. I'll see y'all next Friday on 71st. Let's build this. Let's keep the momentum going. All right, one out. Peace.
You want to say anything? What you came for? No? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hello everyone. So we just ended today's FOP teacher, and I came in with some of the shorties and some of the young folks, some of our young organizers, and really to learn to take this knowledge, and then each and everybody, we choose what to do with it. So tell somebody else about this, get informed, and once you get that knowledge, you choose what to do with it. And if anyone wants to get connected, you can definitely text at Reimagine with that number so that you can, continue to support, continue to help out the folks that are pushing this forward, that are trying to make this happen in the city of Chicago. And catch us for next week. We're gonna do another teach-in. We'll be at another one and hopefully gain more knowledge to be able to take this back to the neighborhood.
There's some chicken back there. You're welcome to it. Let's break.